So, and this is time to reflect and recollect ourselves and practice. So bring your attention to the moment here and now, connecting to the body, realizing and aware of the sitting body as you are sitting here and now. And spend some time with your primary object, whether the breath of the abdomen rises and falls. Be mindful of it for a few moments. To settle down yourself, freeing yourself from all the responsibilities and all the distractions, connecting within. So in general, we are under the influence of a thought, the desire, wanting to be, wanting to have, and how we have our own perception that everything's our beauty. We become a negligence of our own self, thinking that everything went to be perfect at all the time. We have a perception of our life is eternal. We have a perception of whatever I do should be always good. And even that concept we take when we meditate too. Whenever I come to sit meditation, I'm supposed to get calmness. I'm supposed to get insight. I'm supposed to be developing. So we become impatient with our own practice. Meanwhile, in our day-to-day life, we become very impatient with the people, with the situation. With the people, in a sense, we want them to do things and they do not do it, and we become impatient and reply with hate, anger. And meanwhile, if somebody is saying something that you displease it, and again, we engage with it. So we have this perception of everything should be perfect for us. Even the situation, we find with the situation. Why there is a rain, why there is a snow, why there is a heavy wind. We want it to be perfect for ourselves. And that is because impatience. But if we learn to be patient, then we will be accepting them, understanding them, perceiving their nature as arises and vanishes. Meanwhile, whatever people are saying, whatever people are doing, we become a patient in their capability of doing it only that amount, or that degree. What they are saying is that. So we patiently endure as they have said or they have done. That's because our perception has changed, understanding their nature, understanding the nature of their capabilities. So practice of a meditation is to change our perceptions towards our own body and mind, perception to the situations, environment, other people. The perception changing into the right perception, understanding that everything is happening is due to the cause and effects that arises and vanishes. So as you are practicing meditation, we need to be patient. Patiently but persistently, ability to be mindful of your primary object at the beginning so that we can gain the samadhi, the stillness of mind, calmness of the mind, non-distracted and unified mind. And with that, then we can train this mind for our own purpose, wherever we want to. The Buddha gave one of the very beautiful simile, saying that suppose a villager has recently caught the wild elephant, and the villagers will tie this elephant with a very strong post and a very strong string, a rope. And gradually, the villager will play with this elephant by giving grass and water, so that these villagers become familiar with this elephant. An elephant becomes closer and feel that these people are not harmful. And as we caged, tied with a rope to this elephant for some times and feeding it as we wish in time, regularly, and gradually this elephant will be tamed. And we can train this elephant for the work purpose. Similarly, this mind is like a wild elephant, and villagers are we. We are tying this mind with the primary object. And with the mindfulness, we are tying it, getting familiar with it again and again until this mind is fully tamed. And once it's fully tamed, then we don't have to be with the primary object, or we don't have to try our best to be with the primary object. That means we already have a samadhi. And with that, we can train this for their own good, beneficial purposes. So that's why in the practice, we need to be very mindful and train in this way. And our perception will change with it. Perception to ourselves, perception to the world, perception to the people and other beings will change towards the right understanding. And we will be able to comprehend life is not eternal, it's changing. Happiness is not eternal, it is changing. Our emotion is not eternal, it is changing. Everything is changing like the cloud. So our mind is like the pure open space, the cloud, the sky. And the clouds are just passing by. So as we meditate here, We are seeing those mental factors as it arises. So normally we know it as objects. Comes and goes, comes and goes. Our emotions, feelings, perception, everything comes and goes, comes and goes. As I gave a simile, sitting at the bank of the river, watching the river flow. Water flows, comes and goes. All what we do is to watch and understand this changing nature. And with it, it brings long-lasting happiness. Mind becomes one-pointed. There is no disturbing thoughts, fully absorbed. It brings joy. When there is a joyful mind, it brings happiness, the inner happiness. And that inner happiness brings tranquility and wisdom. So as you sit here comfortably, paying attention to the breath or the abdomen as the primary object, and learning rest of other objects arises. Simply being mindful and let it be. So with this in mind, continue practicing until you hear the gong. Now practice the loving kindness meditation to relax yourself, ease yourself. Bring your attention to the body, aware of bodily sensations. And to your hands, and to your heart. Share loving kindness to yourself. May I be well, may I be happy, may I be at peace, may I be free from suffering, may I be liberated, liberated. Similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings, starting from the dear one. Whatever beings there are, may they be well, may they be happy, may they be at peace, may they be free from suffering, may they be liberated, liberated. May all beings rejoice in my merit and be happy. As you hear the gong, come up from meditation. Let's practice. I pay respect.